Welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. Some pretty big injury news to discuss. We'll mention the Eagles getting Ndamukong Suh because that's not that fun. But our goal today is 69 subscribers because that's nice. If you want free Cowboys videos every single day, hit that subscription button. Right now it's free. By the way, hit the red button or the black and white version if you're on YouTube. And yes, we will once again be live for the Cowboys-Vikings game this Sunday. You're watching the Cowboys Report. I'm your boy, Tom Downey. The Eagles have signed Ndamukong Suh because, of course, they did, because Eagles are aggressive. Now I'd like the Cowboys to return the favor here and go explore adding Odell Beckham, which, of course, is what they've been doing, right? They've been very much in the market, in the mix. And even though they did sign Antonio Callaway to the practice squad, that does not mean that they are out on Odell Beckham. They are firmly in the mix and, frankly, one of the top contenders to land Odell Beckham if they can win a couple games here down the stretch before the expected decision for Odell Beckham around Thanksgiving. The Cowboys, Giants, Bills, Niners, and Chiefs are the 5 teams that have been most frequently linked and connected to OBJ. Other teams, the Packers, the Rams, the Ravens, not that linked. There are issues there. And I would wonder if the 2 top contenders are those top 2 teams right there, the Cowboys and the Giants. In fact, Odell Beckham's high school coach has made some interesting comments. That's Nelson Stewart. He said, quote, "I'd flip a coin between New York and Dallas. It's tight. But of all the teams I've heard about, the one that really resonates a little bit more is New York. And you can certainly see the Giants have the most intrigue. I think to go back to where it all started would be amazing for Odell. He's grown up a lot. He's grounded, and he loves being a dad. He's just in a great spot now. To me, New York is a win-win. Now, I would say that's more speculation than like, oh, yeah, Odell told me it's between the Giants and the Cowboys. But logically, it does track. The Cowboys should be in the contender status. They should be aggressive from that standpoint. Lamb, Gallup, Noah Brown have had their ups and downs. Lamb is by far the number 1 receiver, even though he has yet to put together a complete game at this point. Noah Brown has kind of cooled off after a couple decent games. He's been a bit banged up, by the way. And Michael Gallup does not look like the Michael Gallup we all remember. He has not been 100% so far this year, as he's just been banged up, not that productive. Jalen Tolbert's been a big-time problem from that standpoint, and Kevontae Turpin does not play very much. So, yeah, you should want to get Odell Beckham. But will that happen? That's the big-time question. Be realistic for me and honest in the comments, and I'll give my percentage in a moment. But what is the % chance that Odell Beckham signs with the Dallas Cowboys, do you think? It's the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there. Let me know what you think the % chance OBJ signs with the Cowboys is. I'm going to go 51%. I'll go it's more likely than not. Now, the last time I did this was for Earl Thomas, and oops, that's on me. I think Brian Broaddus said 60% chance. I'm not going to go that high. I do think the Cowboys are a very real contender. They've done it. They have the need. They have the money. They've been they've done a fantastic job of showing Odell Beckham the love which he wants. His family's Cowboys fans. It makes sense as long as you remain a contender over these next few weeks, which you absolutely should do. The tricky part here is the money. How do you structure a contract? Odell allegedly wants a longer-term deal. He's going to have another ACL tear. Do you want to invest a lot of money there? Probably ends up being some type of I'll call it almost an option contract where, like, you can get out of it if you need to after the year ends, but there's no guarantee you would go that route. The money is tricky, so that is what's worth keeping an eye out for. Maybe some half guarantees next year, certain incentives trigger a fuller guarantee. That might make the most sense for Odell Beckham and the Cowboys, but that still remains to be seen as Odell's still a few weeks away from making his decision. Let's talk Cowboys injuries here. We'll go through all of these. I'll make note Quinton Bohanna was not at the open media portion of practice today. Might just be an illness. Tyler Smith, Michael Gallup, nothing too concerning there. They were full participants on Wednesday. This is the participation report for Wednesday, although since Thursday is not out because we're filming it beforehand. Zeke, Anthony Brown, Anthony Barr we'll get into. But first is Demarcus Lawrence. Now, he's got a foot injury, which is not the first time Tank's popped up with a foot injury. That's been the case in the past. The Cowboys have said, Mike McCarthy, he's going to play, should be good to go, expected to play, that's the plan, blah, blah, blah. I am getting line vibes again from this Cowboys team. I am concerned about Demarcus Lawrence and that injury. He has by far been your only reliable, true run stopper among your pure defensive linemen, especially at defensive end. That's been a huge problem. More on that later on in today's show, by the way. I am worried. Didn't practice on Wednesday, was off to the side during the open portion of Thursday's practice. I got red flags here. The Cowboys like to lie. I'm going to be worried about Tank Lawrence up until game day inactives, unless he can get a full practice in Friday or something for the Cowboys. Today's Cowboys Report is made possible and sponsored by Established Titles. It's a fun and novel way to help preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland while helping global reforestation efforts. It's a project based on the historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds or lords and ladies in English. Title packs give at least a 1 square foot of dedicated land with a unique plot number on a private estate in Eddleston, Scotland, and an official certificate with a crest. They plant a tree with every order and work with global charities One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future to support global reforestation efforts. You could officially include the title Lord or Lady on your credit card, plane ticket, dating profile, etc. Makes a great last-minute gift. The first 200 people purchasing a title pack using my link will effectively be next to my plot within a few minutes of walking distance. Depending on how many of you want to become a lord or a lady, we can build our own little Cowboys Report kingdom. Makes an amazing last-minute gift, and Established Titles is actually running a massive early Black Friday sale right now, with discounts up to 80% off. Plus, if you use the code CHAT, C-H-A-T, you get an additional 10% off. Go to establishedtitles.com/chat to get your gifts now and help support the channel. It's establishedtitles.com/chat. Links in the comments section and in the description of today's video. Let's move to Ezekiel Elliott. I would guess he's back this week. Mike McCarthy said he'll play when he's ready, which is just there's no insight there whatsoever, to be honest. He's getting some practice work this week. We'll see if he plays. I think when the Cowboys do their practice squad game day call-ups, we'll know a little bit more at that point. Either way, I would like to still feature Tony Pollard heavily. On fewer carries this year, he's got more rushing yards. He's been more productive as a receiver. Yeah, Zeke's a better pass protector, but I want the better runner. And Pollard had a 70, whatever it was, snap count last week. Didn't look very tired to me. I'd keep giving Pollard work if I were the Cowboys. So pick a running back to be the 1A, because of course they'll get both involved. I'm fine with that. But pick a back. 21 for Ezekiel Elliott or 20 for Tony Pollard. Sound off right now in the comments section. In what could be an Anthony Barr revenge game, it seems like he's trending towards returning for the Cowboys against the Vikings. He was limited on Wednesday, got some work in today as well, which would in theory mean maybe more Micah Parsons back at edge, since the Cowboys didn't want to play Ndamukong Suh at linebacker against the Packers. That was kind of weird. Barr has not been great this year, but the run defense had their worst game of the season, so maybe him going back to linebacker would end up being a good thing, as the Cowboys will try to continue to make some more tweaks from that standpoint. If Barr is out again, I'd like to see more Ndamukong Suh. Wouldn't mind seeing some Jabril Cox, but the Cowboys have yet to really do that outside of the one time they were forced to when Barr got hurt a few weeks ago. From one AB to another, Anthony Brown, concussion against the Packers. He has regressed this year, by the way. I think you're still better off with Anthony Brown out there than maybe Kelvin Joseph, but that's a different conversation. DaRon Bland's going to stay your nickel corner. Brown got into limited work Wednesday, but that was more of a walkthrough practice, so not that much to really read into from that standpoint. I'd like to get Brown back out there and healthy. I think he's a better player than Joseph, although Joseph is a good run tackler, and that might matter a little bit more against Minnesota. If they're both healthy, that's the big part, because if Brown is a concussion, then of course you can't play him. Who would you start at corner opposite Trayvon Diggs? AB for Anthony Brown, KJ for Kelvin Joseph. Let's move to the run defense issues. Big problem right now for the Cowboys. They are getting gashed on the outside zone runs, which we've warned them about for weeks and months now, and it didn't work against the Packers. 5 ideas how to stop the run from your boy here. Number 1, do your damn job. And this is not me saying it. It's Micah saying it and Jayron Kearse. Here's what Jayron Kearse said on Wednesday. Everybody just has to do their job. If every single individual does their job, we'll take care of the run. If you're a force. If you're a linebacker and you have to shoot the gap, shoot the gap. If you're an edge defender, you have to hold the edge, do that. It's 11 guys doing their individual job. Jayron Kearse did not call out any individual players, But he called out position groups here. Force players, more safety coming down. That's what he means by that. He includes himself, by the way, in that category. Linebackers are linebackers. Edge defenders, not keeping their edge and keeping contained there. And that's number 2. Because the big problem for this Cowboys run defense has not been runs up the middle. It has been outside runs. It's been to the left more than anything from the offensive perspective, right side of the defense. Outside of Tank Lawrence, the Cowboys have not done a good job of containing the edge this year. Guys who are predominantly lining up opposite Tank Lawrence, by the way. 5 defensive ends. By the way, those who are wondering, what about Micah Parsons? He actually lines up kind of everywhere, more of a 50-50 split, so can't just blame Micah for that. Terrell Basham, 10 snaps, very small sample size. Sam Williams, again, 6. This is all PFF run grades, so again, I know it's PFF, but I think it is a decent indication there. Sam Williams, better, but small sample size. Dante Fowler, Chauncey Golston, not great. Dorrance Armstrong, folks, has been bad against the run. You got guys not staying inside. There was that big Aaron Jones touchdown run. Quinton Bohanna and the rest of the Cowboys defense do a twist. Dante Fowler blows the assignment. He does not twist inside. Giant gap. Armstrong's been washed out a lot on outside zone plays, on toss plays. That's a problem. Your defensive ends are not holding up their end of the bargain. Now, the plan for Sam Williams in year 1 was to be more of a designated pass rusher, which has worked pretty well so far. I kind of want to see him get some more reps on run defense. I don't know if that's going to fix it, but I'm at the point of I'd like to try things, by the way. Do you want to play Sam Williams more then? Do you agree with me? Because I'm fine with it. You can cut into Fowler, Golston, Armstrong snaps if we need to. Y for yes, N for no. You sound off in the comment section. Number 3, if your front 4 is not doing their job, that's why the front 4 is above the corners and linebackers, they got to step up. As we'll get into, teams are going wide, which means your linebackers got to go make pursuit plays. They got to shed blocks. And a trend has been for opposing defenses or offenses this year is run left. Or I guess left is that way for you guys watching. And it's my right, camera inverse. That is at Trayvon Diggs. And it took people a while to figure out his actual flaw. It's not that he gives up big plays or touchdowns. It's that not a great run defender. And that's okay. He's a corner. But you got to make some plays there. This has been a trend, not just against the Packers or against the Bears or against the Lions. The Bucs put it on film in week 1. Get to the outside. You'll have success. Look what they did with Fournette. Everything was to the right. It was one play to the left, and Tank Lawrence was on the field on that play. They've been going that way. Maybe you consider flipping around Trayvon Diggs' side to put him on the same side as Tank Lawrence to balance it a little bit. That's a bit of a bold idea, I think, but you got gashed last week. You got to figure it out. Number 4, how about you win on 3rd down and 4th down? The Cowboys this year have been awesome on 3rd downs. They're allowing a sub 37% conversion rate. That's really good. The Packers last week were 7 of 14 on 3rd and 4th down. And we would all be feeling a lot better about the run defense if the Cowboys hadn't allowed a 4th and 7 touchdown from Aaron Rodgers. You stop that 4th and 7, you're up by 14, you win that football game. You win. That play cost you that. If there's one play I would change, it's that one. That one play. Because that would have totally flipped the outcome of the game. 4th and 7, you got to get off the field. Your corner falls down. It's a big play. Got to be better on those money downs. That was an issue down the stretch. Even that Niners game last year, the run defense was not great in the playoffs. You know what really cost you, though? You couldn't get off field on 3rd down. That's a problem in games that have that type of playoff feel. And finally, number 5, offense and defense are always intertwined. The offense can help you out a little bit more. I'm not going to blame the offense when they have a 28-14 point lead. You score 28 points, you should win football games. That's top 3 offense in the NFL. Yeah, there were turnovers, but you gave the defense a 14-point lead, and they blew it. But still, they can do a better job as well. Fixing the run defense is important for this Cowboys team down the stretch. I have the remaining 8 games, and I have the stats here of EPA, expected points added. Nerd shit, I know, but I find it valuable of how impactful the ground game is to winning football games for these teams. And DVOA helps factor in some level of competition stuff. Minnesota's 15-10. Giants are 11-13. They will gash you with volume. So will the Texans, they can't throw the football. That's their problem. The Colts, you go, they're 31. Yeah, they can't run the football this year. except last week. They might be back with Jonathan Taylor. Jags are okay. Eagles are elite. Titans are a volume ground game offense there. They've also had some fumbles with their quarterbacks that really bring down that number, by the way, because fumbles kill you in EPA. The Commanders ran it a ton against the Eagles. They weren't that efficient, though, but they're a volume team, too. Got to get some run stops there if you are the Dallas Cowboys. If you can stop the run, then you can get back to your bread and butter, and that is dominating teams with your pass rush.